Jai Hind everyone, welcome to BSSS NCC SSB Special Podcast Show. I am Cadet Anurag Srivastav on this episode. In this SSB special episode, we are over the moon to have our esteemed guest Brigadier Sanjoy Ghosh, the Bhopal Group Commander with us. Brigadier Sanjoy Ghosh has taken over the duties of NCC Group Commander from July 2020 and he has more than 32 years of experience in the army and was commissioned into the Regiment of Artillery. The officer has commanded an Assam Rifles Battalion in the northeast while commanded a brigade in Arunachal Pradesh as a brigade commander. The Bhopal Group NCC has more than 22,000 cadets from class 9th onwards to college students of senior division doing undergraduate courses. It is one of the largest NCC group. On behalf of BSSS NCC, we would like to express our warm welcome to you on this show.
Thank you.
In today's episode, Sir will talk about his experience right from his training days to his tenure in NCC. In today's episode, we will take in-depth knowledge that how defense aspirants and NCC cadets should prepare for SSB interview. Sir, as we have told in the interview, in the introduction that Bhopal group has more than 20,000 cadets. So being a group commander, how do you manage the whole group and following up your hectic schedule?
Okay, before I start per se answering your query, let me first thank you for inviting me to BSSS Rhythm studio and giving me this opportunity to address so many people who may be watching or hearing me. Coming to your question first, how do you manage? See, as you grow up in life, life itself is a management. Whatever you lead life is a sort of management. We don't study about it. Our parents, whatever they teach us, actually when you look back, whatever you have learned in life from your childhood, it is nothing but a management of life. Having said so, when you have to manage an organization, knowing that what you have with you, you have to devise ways and means of managing. You in your college would be having a management college where MBAs and BBAs and whatnot is being taught. All that is taught in that is nothing very great. It is something which has over the years, everybody knows in his life. It has just been documented and you study that to learn. So in this process, I have 20,000 plus cadets. So similarly, when you are brigadier and a brigade commander, you similarly have 5,000-6,000 troops, number of units, minor units. So you have to find ways and means to manage. And over the years, you learn the art of management. Now, how do you do it is that in a hierarchical organization, you have certain subordinates who are interested with responsibilities of management per se. And you have another channel open of going to the level down where you can have direct information too. The more channels you have and have the ability to match those channels and analyze and then take a concerted decision so as to be righteous in your approach is what makes you successful. So how do you do it? You do it by listening to your subordinates at every level, how they are managing. You skirt the level and reach the last person on the earth, take his or her opinion, and thus then match. The channels that you make is something like the channel right now you are doing. This is one of a channel of medium. So such mediums have been opened up by me where I can get inputs from various channels. And then it is my wisdom to take a decision. That's how I do it.
That was very good answer, sir. Sir, moving on to next question. Sir, could you please tell us that why did you opt for military instead of any other fields?
Okay. Now, every human being in his life, when you grow up, when you're a child, I'm sure all of you must be asked by your parents कि क्या बनोगे, or your teachers or anybody. Now, as you grow in life, when you're a child, you are fascinated by something. As you move into teenage, you change. As you move into young adulthood, there is again a change maybe. Now, in this change, the process of change is life is a constant. You have to change. If you don't change, then you will stagnate in life. So thus, if you are a 6-year-old boy and you say to your papa that I will become doctor, it may not necessarily happen, because by the time you are 12 years old or 15 years old, you might find that you have no inclination to become doctor. So you change. Now this change comes for various factors in life. Some of us have very many problems in life. There is no human being who doesn't have a problem. That problem at times makes you change. So I would say that I never opted to be an army officer. It happened by accident because I was appearing in all kinds of competitive exam and I was clearing them. And I was doing so for aiding some of my friends who were in the group study. So they would benefit with my studying with them. And so this was another field where they said, please give this CDS exam along with us. So I said, okay, I'm studying for MBA also. I'm studying for bank PO exam, LIC exam. Every exam I gave just to test myself that how good or bad I am in any field. So in my time, I have given every kind of competitive exam when I was doing BSc. So this was another field. So they said, why don't we give this exam also? The combined defense services. Okay, let's study. So we studied. So we got through. So when we got through, I said, okay, all of you have got through. We are successful. You have done well. So now let me focus on my IIM Ahmedabad. They said, no, since the SSB call has come, why don't you also come along with us? So I said, okay, no harm. Another 1 day, 4 days. So they said, let's go to SSB. So I said, okay, let's go. So in that SSB, I cleared. Now, when I cleared, so people who were standing outside the SSB, they said, you are a great guy. How did you clear? I said, I don't know. Okay, I just studied. So there was a dilemma in me because they said, you're ultimate, you've got a job. Whereas if you have to do MBA next 2 years, you go to IIM or anywhere. I had cleared my IAFT, Ghaziabad, foreign trade, then BITS Pilani and things like that. So I went back home. I said, okay, another 2 years I have to study. I will be spending money of my parents and I will have to again slog, then again look for a job. So what's the harm in joining the army? Now you will say that, sir, you had no feelings for that nation and all that. No, nothing. Let us be truthful. At that age, what is that you are looking for? You are looking for how to earn money at the first go. That is the truth of life. बाकी कोई भी बोले कि मुझे एक्टिंग आती है, मुझे बॉलीवुड जाना है and all that, doesn't matter. It is you are looking कि how soon can I get a job and a pay packet which I can give it to my father or mother. And that is the truth of life. So the earliest you do it, you are successful. So आपके मोहल्ले में सारे शहर में सब बोलते हैं ना कितना अच्छा लड़का है, नौकरी पे लग गया, कमाने लगा, लड़की होगी कि तो कितनी अच्छी लड़की है, अब इसकी शादी करा देते हैं. That is how the Indian society at large follows. Okay. So my dilemma was, what do I do? So I decided, okay, let me take this job. It's going to pay me good. They said they'll make you officer and I'll have a different life. So I came back and analyzed what is the life of an officer. So I had some cousins who were in the Navy and Army. So I asked them. They were Sainik school types and NDA and all. They said, "Tujhe to pata hi hai." So I said, okay, I'm going. Go. And that's how I landed. Now, there is nothing great message about it. So I'm sure the Prime Minister who used to sell tea never thought he will become a Prime Minister. So there are factors which make you change in life. So you go ahead with life, how life takes you, and you progress in that manner with an open mind that I can do it. So if you tell yourself I can do it, you can do it in any field for that matter. That's it.
That was a very good answer, sir. Moving on to next, sir. How was your experience in the training academy, and did ever feel you like giving up during the rigorous training period? If yes, then how did you motivate yourself to continue?
See, everything in life is tough. If you think training in the army is tough, no. If you go and take up a job with any multinational anywhere, it will be tough. Because there will be times when you will find that you are little not at ease to do a certain task. Why does this happen? This happens because human being per se is always comparing himself or herself with others. If you see your friend doing well, and if you find yourself, I am not doing well, you will be demotivated. So this is the reason that every human being who goes for any kind of training always does a comparison कि वो पास हो गया और मैं पास नहीं हो पाया. Now this is both good and bad. How? When you are lagging behind from your friend, it is up to you to match up. Now to match up, what do? The most biggest thing in human being is your ego. Okay? Your ego does not let you lose if you have the right kind of ego. So if that ego comes in, ki what face I will show to my friends and families if I go out of training and reach back to the same city where they will say कि इतना तो party करके गया था and now you're back without doing the training. That pushes a human being to achieve. So if that is not there in you, then you are losing control over your life. Every man or woman has that. But if you come to a stage where you start saying कि ना मुझसे अब नहीं हो पाएगा, then you are losing your life. And you will lose control over life. So if I found that I am not able to pass a certain test in the first go, I would always tell myself, I can't go back. My cousin brother who is in Navy, he will say, what a useless guy you are. You couldn't pass this physical test. So it always gave me, let's pass it in the first go so that these kinds of situations don't come in life, that you have to think about it. So I always made sure that I cleared all my mandatory tests in the first go. So then you are free at mind, because others who are failing, they are again repeating, practicing, but you are at ease. So you are very comfortable with your life if you put in that extra bit in the first time. Then you don't have any second or third time in your life. First time only you are successful. That's how you lead life in training.
Sir, we found a great message from this answer. Moving on to next question. Sir, according to you, what challenges do a newly commissioned officer face during their initial years of military tenure? And beside this, what was the greatest challenge that you faced while serving in army till now?
As you get commissioned in army, the day you get commissioned, you guys must have seen on TV and all, there's a lot of rejoicing. People, clicking pictures and making videos, and they think that they have climbed the Mount Everest. It is good at that point of time. So you are in a different state of being, that you have achieved the ultimate. But what happens, it is not about army. In any organization, when you join, the first day you are scared. And you have to be scared because you don't know what is going to be happening with me. What do I have to do? So when you first day land up as an officer, you are again brought down to Mother Earth, so that your ego is crushed. And it's very important. You must understand. Okay, some people do not like it maybe. But the ego is crushed so that you learn to build up ego by learning the good things in life. So once you learn the good things in life slowly, then your ego builds up and you become professionally competent. Professional competence leads you to professional arrogance. Now, all these negative words of English, what I am telling you about, these things matter psychologically, that in isolation, these words are negative words. But when it is being combined with the base of knowledge and learning, they become a matter of pride. That's how you grow in life, that tomorrow you might grow and become a great professor of a subject. So your ego will rise, your professional arrogance will rise, because you are the best surgeon of cardiotherapy or something where you know how to do the surgery. So you will have that arrogance in you, कि I will do this surgery better. But if your that time ego is not crushed, you will go on thinking that I have already climbed the Mount Everest. Nobody can teach me more. You will be later a failure in life. That is harmful to a human being. So thus, I have always maintained that keep yourself at Mother Earth, learn slowly, slowly. When you have learned, then you don't let anybody teach you anymore, but you keep on learning and tell that I know this, but something beyond that is coming to me. I'm still learning in life. And as I speak to you, I'm learning what a podcast is about. That is what learning entails. Okay?
Yes, it was very good answer by you, sir. So my next question is, sir, we would like to know your experience as a group commander of Bhopal Group NCC.
See, National Cadet Corps, well, I have never served before. And I was sent over here. And I took the challenge. Somebody told me what it is about. So I said, okay, fine. I understand what is the job profile is. And in that manner, I said, okay, I will be able to do it. So having landed there, initially it was COVID time in 2020. Thankfully, since a lot of things what are standstill, it gave me time to read about my job, learn about my job, speak to people on telephones, interact with people online, because during COVID time there was no meeting as such. So I spent most of my time during the second half of 2020 when I came in till about December of learning the job. I didn't take any very many great decisions because I told myself you are not yet capable and adept in taking decision on things since you are still a student learning. So I gave myself 6 months to learn how to run the NCC paraphernalia. And once I had learnt it, then I sat down and listed for myself as to what would be my key result areas, what would be my aim in life, and what timelines I will lay down for me to achieve that aim. This is a matter of learning for you all when you grow up in life. The moment you learn this art of putting across a timeline for yourself, a aim, and the areas where you wish to focus, you will then go and your mind will function as to what you wish to achieve. In life, having too many things to do will not make you, adept in everything. So you have to prioritize that what I can really change and achieve. And that is where I have been doing as a group commander, that I can focus on certain things in certain period of time. Once I achieve it, I revisit and see that if it is continuing properly, and thereafter it becomes a way of life. As the way of life happens, then you are okay with it. That is how higher management in life takes place. You have to just lay down that. That is what I have been doing.
Yes.
Jai Hind everyone. Welcome back to BSSS NCC SSB Special Podcast. I am Cadet Shrishti Singh. In this SSB Special Podcast, we are over the moon to have our esteemed guest Brigadier Sanjoy Ghosh sir, the Bhopal Group Commander of BSSS NCC. Sir, so I am here with the curious questions which I was having in my mind. So sir, the first question related to SSB interview I am having. Sir, if we suppose कि आप एक इंटरव्यूइंग ऑफिसर हैं और आप एक कैंडिडेट का इंटरव्यू ले रहे हैं, तो सर पहली वो क्या चीज़ होगी जो आप उसमें नोटिस करेंगे और चेक करेंगे?
आई थिंक आई विल गिव यू अ वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड आंसर. मैं अगर इंटरव्यूइंग ऑफिसर होऊंगा और किसी को भी सामने देखूंगा तो सबसे पहले मैं ये देखूंगा सच्चाई कितनी है. ओके, नाउ लेट मी एक्सप्लेन टू यू कि व्हाई सो. सी, SSB, as you would be knowing since you are asking about it, it is the only test in the entire world, the Indian military that we follow, which is testing a candidate or a youth on various facets of life. In this, the most important is psychology. Okay. Why psychology? The issue is, psychology is something which leads you to good and correct decision making. Fine. Now, why again good decision making is required is because once you become an armed forces officer, you are having at stake lot of lives, dependent on your decision. Which, to be very straightforward, you can kill somebody with your bad decision. So how can somebody be made responsible if they do not have the correct psychology of taking their good decision so that you safeguard lives? So life is very costly. Okay, you cannot let anybody die because of your wrong decisions. And thus, you have to be very truthful. और सच्चाई जो है वो झलकनी चाहिए आपके डिसीजन मेकिंग में. So a candidate is kind of first seen that how truthful she is, or being natural self. It's something like today you might go for your own academics to a coaching, or if you don't go to coaching, you may be, kind of आप रट रहे हैं किसी चीज़ को और उसको पेपर में लिख रहे हैं. But life में decision is not like this. When it is about safeguarding or killing somebody, it is very difficult proposition. So you have to have the truthfulness inside you, that of the decision that you are going to make, will it really matter? Because one life lost may have another few lives destroyed along with him. That is why the interviewing officer first starts testing the psychological effect on that human being, that how truthful he or she is. Major reason.
Thank you, sir. So what carries the more weightage? The SSB written exam or the interview?
See, there's a set pattern of marks which are given. Broadly, I will not discuss the marks as such. Nobody knows about it, in fact. SSB is such confidential thing. Because why it is confidential, let me share with you. Because there, we come to know what kind of a human being you are. And if you are selected, it's fine. If you're not selected, still it is fine. We do not want to tell that you get demotivated. Okay. So there are 3 persons in SSB who are evaluating you. One is called a GTO, one is a psychologist, and one is the interviewing officer. All 3, whatever be their seniority, whatever be their qualifications, they test independently. Whosoever may be senior, he cannot influence the other. All three are independent. All three do like that. And all three have to clear you. At least two of them have to clear you. But mandatorily, this psychologist has to clear you. Then only you make it to SSB. But all three cannot influence each other. That is the whole structure of SSB. And this follows forever in this country since we have started. And it is going very smoothly. And we see what we get and what we don't get. So everybody has something to test, which is unique to them. There is nothing that one can say ki I am also testing this, he is also testing that, nothing like that. It is unique to them, and all three are independently evaluating you and giving you pass or fail in that manner. Okay, chalo.
सर लाइक अपन देखते हैं कि इंटरव्यूइंग ऑफिसर एसएसबी इंटरव्यू में पर्सनल क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं, तो सर उन्हें किस तरीके से उस क्वेश्चंस को आंसर करना चाहिए?
किसी भी इंटरव्यू में ज़िंदगी में, मैंने जैसे पहले बताया ना, आपको अगर एसएसबी के बारे में कुछ ज्ञान है तो आपको पता है आप एक पर्सनल इन्फॉर्मेशन क्वेश्चनेयर भर के देते हैं, जिसमें आप अपने पर्सनल सारे क्वेश्चंस का जवाब पहले से ही लिख के देते हैं. और उसमें बहुत सारे पर्सनल चीज़ें होती हैं, आपके पेरेंट्स के बारे में, आपके फैमिली के बारे में, इनकम के बारे में, हॉबीज़, क्या नहीं होता, सब कुछ. नाउ दैट इज़ बीइंग रेड बाय द इंटरव्यू ऑफिसर. उसके अलावा कई सारे टेस्ट हैं जिसमें कि आप और भी कुछ लिखते हैं, जिसमें साइकोलॉजिस्ट चेक करता है. सो आप जो भी इंटरव्यू में जवाब दे रहे हैं, द फर्स्ट थिंग ही सीज कि आपने जो लिखा है सच बोल रहे हैं कि नहीं आप. सेकंड, अगर आप किसी भी इंटरव्यू में जाएं, एक होता है कि इंटरव्यू में जाके इट्स नॉट नेसेसरीली एसएसबी, लेट मी डाइवर्ट यू, कि आप ज़िंदगी में किसी भी इंटरव्यू में जाएं, आप अगर इंटरव्यू में कुछ ऐसा दिखाने की कोशिश करेंगे जो कि आपको ज्ञान नहीं है, या आपके ज्ञान के विपरीत है, या आपके ज्ञान से कहीं आगे बढ़कर आप दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, आप कभी सक्षम नहीं होंगे अपने उद्देश्य में. सो इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू अंडरस्टैंड it is better to do a interview round in SSB by being absolutely natural, true to yourself, and whatever questions are thrown to you, you answer just truthfully by that much knowledge that you have. If you want to invent things, वहाँ बैठ के तो आप फेल हो जाएंगे. इफ़ यू वुड ट्राई टू शो कि नहीं मुझे आता है, मैं ना अभी याद नहीं कर पा रही हूँ, और तरह तरह के रीज़न निकालेंगे, तो आप अपना साइकोलॉजी दिखाएंगे कि आप कोशिश कर रहे हैं टू बीट दैट सिचुएशन. सो द सक्सेसफुल कैंडिडेट वुड बी हु इज़ एब्सोल्युटली ट्रूथफुल एंड नेचुरल सेल्फ. बिकॉज हमें पता है कि ज़िंदगी में किसी भी प्राणी को सब कुछ नहीं पता है. नोबडी कैन नो एवरीथिंग इन लाइफ. सो in any interview you go, you are not expected to know 100%. अगर आप 100% ही सब पता होता है, फिर तो you will be next to God. You can tell about future also, you can tell about past also. So mantra is that be absolutely truthful, natural. अगर कुछ चीज़ आपको पूछा जाए और आपको नहीं पता है, तो बताइए मुझे इसके बारे में ज्ञान नहीं है. So he will mark you कि यार at least this girl is truthful. कि नहीं पता है, बिकॉज यू मे नॉट नो अबाउट न्यूक्लियर पॉलिसी ऑफ द कंट्री, सो बी इट. बट यू मे नो द यूथ पॉलिसी ऑफ द कंट्री, सो बी इट. बट इफ यू ट्राई टू से कि नो सर, आई हैव रेड समवेयर एंड आई विल जस्ट टेल यू, एंड यू डोंट नो, then your mind will start inventing, and you will be at cross purpose to your own self. That is not warranted in any interview. Okay.
सर इज दैट अ मिथ कि फ्रेशर्स को फ्रेशर्स की रिकमेंडेशन ज़्यादा होती है rather than the repeaters?
There is no statistical evidence to it. Nothing like it that you can put a maxim like that कि freshers की ज़्यादा होती है और repeaters की कम. I will tell you what is possible. I have not served in SSB, but whatever I know discussing with other, सी इफ यू आर अ रिपीटर दैट मीन्स आपको एक बार रिजेक्ट कर दिया गया है. तो आपको अगर एक बार रिजेक्ट किया होगा तो कोई वजह होगी, कोई रीज़न होगा. Now that reason is not told to you because SSB results are confidential. Nobody tells you why you have not made it. Okay. But when you are rejected in SSB or otherwise in life, isn't it a thing that I should go back home and ask myself कि यार ऐसा क्या हुआ मेरे साथ कि why was I rejected? Now if you have the capability to analyze और आप अपने बारे में विश्लेषण करने की क्षमता रखते हैं तो आप घर जाके खुद ही सोचेंगे कि इस बार मैंने शायद क्या गलती किया होगा. अगर उस गलती को आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं तो आई एम श्योर आपके अंदर ताकत होगी कि उस गलती को कैसे ओवरकम करें वो भी आप सीख सकते हैं. सो द नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन यू गो you will be better prepared. So statistically, let me tell you, there are very many people who have made it in SSB in the 13th time from Bhopal. I have a cadet, ex-cadet, who has made it in 13th attempt. Now you will tell me it's 13 times. Well, 12 times he failed and 13 times he became an officer. But imagine what is the lesson learned from that boy. He is now in the Corps of Engineers. The lesson learned कि 12 बार वो लगा रहा. The resilience that he had, that I will overcome my weakness, and he overcame. Now I cannot say what was his weakness. Only he can say, or his assessors may have found. But 12 times failing over 2 years and 13 times being successful, it's an achievement in itself. So it is nothing hard and fast that there is some bias against repeaters and all. Never think like that. It's not SSB. Tomorrow you might go for a job in Bhopal and you may be rejected. But day after you might land up in Delhi and you may be accepted. So it is for you to analyze that how to overcome the weakness whichever you may be having, and you will be good in life thereafter.
सर लाइक जो पिक्चर परसेप्शन डिस्क्रिप्शन टेस्ट होता है उसमें लाइक वी हैव सीन कि कई बार जो पिक्चर्स होती है, जो सीन्स और जो सिचुएशन उसमें दिखाते हैं वो नेगेटिव चीज़ों को पोर्ट्रे करते हैं. तो सर क्या नेगेटिव लिखना अप्रोप्रिएट है?
यू सी योर क्वेश्चन ओनली टेल्स, जो आप सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, ये नेगेटिव और पॉजिटिव कौन बनाता है? मेरा और आपका दिमाग. पिक्चर में लिखा हुआ नहीं आता है कि ये नेगेटिव है. You are watching the picture with negativity. So it is not that the picture is telling you it is negative. It is our mind. So that's why I told you the psychologist is testing your mind. Because a picture is a picture. Right now we are sitting over here in the studio. I can make negative out of it also and I can make positive out of it also. So it is yourself to see a picture and make it positive. But what happens, we are focused in mind by seeing around us कि ये तो negative ही है. That is what we do not want to select. Even the worst of the negative situation, if the mind makes it positive, your decision making will be aiding positiveness. You will find better solutions. That is why SSB psychologist sees in you कि how you are visualizing life. That is it.
सर रिसेंटली हम लोग का एक इंटरेक्टिव सेशन हुआ था एक्स सीनियर अंडर ऑफिसर यदुवेंद्र सर के साथ. तो उन्होंने हमें बताया कि वो एक बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट रूटीन फॉलो करते थे सीडीएस को क्रैक करने के लिए. तो सर क्या रूटीन होना चाहिए जो हम लोग को, मतलब उसमें और क्या ऐड करना चाहिए हम लोग को जिससे कि हमारा रूटीन और स्ट्रिक्ट और इतना टफ होना ज़रूरी है, और उसमें क्या ऐड करना चाहिए जिससे कि
लाइफ में किसी भी रूटीन के लिए यू हैव टू फर्स्ट एनालाइज कि आपको कौन सा एग्ज़ाम पास करना है, उस एग्ज़ाम में आपको किस तरह के टेस्ट लिए जाएंगे. सो इफ़ यू एनालाइज दैट देन यू विल फाइंड कि मुझे मतलब थोड़ा सा फिज़िकल चाहिए, थोड़ा सा रिटन चाहिए, थोड़ा सा बोलना आना चाहिए और थोड़ा बहुत मुझे साइकोलॉजी करना चाहिए. Coming to SSB, since you said that. Now, अगर ये 4-5 चीज़ें हैं तो इसमें रूटीन, आई मीन आई डोंट सी व्हाट टफनेस यू वांट. ओके, सो आई टेल दैट कि you know, I shouldn't say so. Donkey is called a donkey, but it's very hard-working animal. But it is not respected. He works the most, the donkey. For the hours he works. But it is not, he is not respected, that animal. Why so? I don't want you guys to become donkeys. कि हम बोझ लाद के चले जा रहे हैं. You must understand how to be a horse. It's of same breed, both of them. But one is galloping and one is, going slowly and not being respected. So that is the reason that you have a 8-8-8 formula. Sleep for 8 hours, study for 8 hours, and the rest of the 8 hours is for you to do what you wish to do. But in all this 8-8-8 formula, just see to it that you don't waver your mind. That is all. And you'll be successful.
Thank you very much, sir, for setting aside some time to be guest on our podcast. We are very grateful, sir, for all the advices and information that you have shared with us. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us a new path. We are immensely thankful to you, sir, for encouraging us and gracing our podcast show. सर मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि जो आपने जितनी भी बातें बोली हैं उससे जो भी हमारा यूथ है वो उसको सीखेगा और शायद वो भी अब नेशन को सर्व कर सकेगा और इंडिया के लिए सर्व कर सकेगा.
Thank you very much for hosting. Okay, all the best to you people.
Yes,
I hope that you learn good things in life and carry forward like this.
Sure,
okay,
sir.
thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.